Hello everybody, welcome to Contentment Guide Astrology. I am Michelle. Welcome to this video about the astrology between the 6th and the 12th of November. Please like, please share, please subscribe. It helps my channel and my business to grow, and I really appreciate hearing about your astrological experiences. So the news of the day is that Mars has now moved into Leo. So it's still in an out of sign opposition to Pluto. But the energy of Mars changes completely because Mars is a little bit more uncomfortable in the watery sign of Cancer. So now that Mars is into Leo, it feels more energized. It's easier for the Mars energies to take charge. It's easier to take action, and we might just feel really inspired to take action in new areas of our life. Newfound passions in the area of Leo where Mars is now traveling, boldness of action, and also an openness to be seen, like only that Leo energy can bring. So you can contact me if you would like to find out where Leo falls for you in your chart. And there's also a video that I made last week that I will link below about the Mars retrograde and Mars Pluto opposition, where there is a sign by sign breakdown for you which houses the Mars retrograde is going to fall for you personally. So this is a big change of energy with Mars now being in Leo, and of course some will feel it more than others. If you are Leo rising, you are definitely feeling this energy. If you are Cancer rising, you will feel the energy of Mars having left your sign. And if you are Scorpio or Aries rising, you will feel the change in energy. And if your Time Lord for this year is Mars, you will also feel quite a big change in energy and really feel energized and ready to take action in new parts of your life. So the next thing I want to mention is on the 7th of November, Mercury is entering its retrograde shadow. So Mercury is now in the sign of Sagittarius, and it's starting its retrograde shadow at 6 degrees of Sagittarius, and then it's going to move forward until 22 degrees of Sagittarius, where it will turn retrograde. And the actual retrograde starts on the 26th of November and lasts until the 15th of December. But there's quite a few energies that we're going to start feeling between now and the end of December because of this retrograde. And one of them being a square between Mercury in Sagittarius and Saturn in Pisces. And that's why I wanted to mention that the 6th of November is actually the start of the Mercury retrograde shadow, because you can already start watching for what is playing out in your life in the area of Sagittarius, and there's going to be changes and rethinking and rebalancing and refocusing on different things by the end of December, when we're actually, the start of January. I think the 2nd of January is when we finally clear the retrograde shadow again. So more later in this video about Mercury squaring Saturn. So that's the start of the retrograde shadow on the 7th. Then between the 7th and the 11th of November, and it'll be perfect on the 9th of November, we are feeling Venus in Sagittarius squaring Neptune in Pisces. Now, this is a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling. Venus and Neptune square can make us feel quite insecure. Venus is about love, relationships. It's about creativity, beauty, appearance. It can also be about money matters. And a square energy is a bit more challenging, so it brings out the more challenging aspects and energies of Venus and Neptune. So there can be foggy feelings and unclarity and nebulousness in all of these areas around love, relationships, creativity, our appearance, money matters. And it's just a time to be aware of when you are making decisions in those areas, that at this time our opinions and our feelings and our experience about these Venus and Neptune matters might be distorted. So I would say refrain from making any big decisions or changes in love, relationships, your creativity and money matters between the 7th and the 11th of November. And if you have to, just make double sure and have lots of discussions, maybe with friends, therapists, or write in your journal about what is playing out for you, because there might be something at this time that is actually distorted or misunderstood. So this is something that is quite good to be aware of at this time. Neptune is also still retrograde at this time, so it can make this experience of the Venus square Neptune a much more internal experience, where we might feel insecure about our money matters, insecure about our appearance or creative things that we are bringing out in the world. So this is also a time to inwardly work on our inner security around love, money, relationships, and creative matters. So I feel at the end of the day, all of these energies are here to help us and to see ourselves in deeper and more expansive ways. So find ways to deal with this if this is hitting you in your chart and you are feeling this fogginess or insecurity in these areas. So then on the 9th of November, the moon has now moved on since the 1st of November, and the new moon that had that contentious energy of Mars opposite Pluto. And the moon is now in Aquarius, and it is trining Jupiter. So the moon in Aquarius is a very expansive and forward-thinking, futuristic kind of energy. It brings about positive emotions with the trine to Jupiter. Feelings of growth. You can feel really optimistic in the area of Aquarius in your chart. You can feel generosity, just the openness to new experiences. It's a trine to Jupiter, so there's an expansiveness, there's an openness to new beliefs and seeing things and changing our life philosophies and our experiences into more open, expansive ways of being. It's a good time to be social. It feels very socially expansive, connecting to others emotionally. It can be very intuitively expansive. So the moon transit is always a very fast one, but on the 9th you can really tap into your intuition on that day and see what that brings. Just be aware, like I said before, that this is on the same day where the Venus square Neptune is exact. So there might be some distorted elements to this expansive energy as well, because this is all happening at the same time. And it also could be a time with the moon trine Jupiter where you feel really emotionally supported by friends, family. With the moon, you may be connected to women, sisters, to feminine energy, to motherly energy. And yes, this is a very feel-good, expansive energy that can be enjoyed on this day. And then I come to the last transit that I want to mention for this week, and that is the Mercury squaring Saturn. So, as I mentioned earlier, we are now in that time where we are going to feel this first Mercury square Saturn in November, between the 9th and the 15th of November. It's going to be exact on the 12th of November. And because of the Mercury retrograde, this is a longer process between Mercury in Sagittarius and Saturn in Pisces. So we are going to experience this again. So the first Mercury square Saturn is on the 12th of November. The second time around in the retrograde motion is on the 6th of December. And then the third time round is going to be on the 27th of December. So only by the 30th of December we're really out of this energy. And so this is a longer period of adjustment. And with Mercury being our thoughts, our communication, it is electronics, it is emails, it is texting, communication in general, it can be commerce, online business, all of these things. Saturn being a bit more of a challenging energy, especially in a square. Saturn is that energy of isolation, of receiving no's from the universe or from other people, doors closing, other doors opening. Saturn is about a boundary that we set, or a perceived boundary that now needs to be transcended. So it's a time of adjusting our sense of discipline and personal boundaries. Saturn in its more beneficial energies can bring us wisdom and discipline. It can help us to tap into long-term goals. So this could be a time between now and the end of December, between the houses of where Sagittarius and Pisces is for you, that can be a square between more thought-based and emotional energies, and working and adjusting our personal boundaries, working with where we may need more discipline or less discipline. Pay attention to thoughts and conversations and how they may lead to new ways of being and new thought patterns being formed, and gain awareness between now and the end of the year of what needs to be adjusted in terms of personal boundaries. And a square to Saturn, especially with Mercury, can bring a little bit of pessimism, because Saturn's energy can sometimes feel really heavy to us if we are not used to working with its energy. It can feel a little bit like dragging your feet through the mud. Mercury is very swift, so Mercury likes making plans and taking action and moving forward. And Saturn can be a little bit of, dragging, walking through thick mud, having that feeling of having some weights tied to your ankles where you are forced to take it a bit slower. And again, see this as something where the universe has come to help you, where you can take your time to be slower, to adjust your thought patterns, to adjust your boundaries, to make long-term goals that can be more lasting. Because Saturn can really help us with setting long-term goals that we can really stick to. So I see the positive outcome of this square to find very realistic goals. We can set realistic goals. We can see where before we were not being realistic. We can see where we maybe were being over optimistic about something or over pessimistic, and find a new balance between the two. So yes, so this is a longer transit, and the second time round is coming around on the 6th of December and then the 27th of December. I drew a card for this week, and I got the Four of Pentacles, which also showed up at the new moon. And for me, this is a card that really represents this energy that I was just talking about with Mercury squaring Saturn, because this is a card of control where we are holding on to things. And I think this is a very good symbology for us to gain more clarity where we might be holding on too tightly and trying to enforce too much control over a certain situation. And as we are holding on too tightly, we are not getting to move and change boundaries and experience new things, because he is standing on top of the Pentacles. He's balancing one on his head and he's clutching one. So this literally creates a feeling of not moving at all. And as much as that is not valuable long term, over the short term it sometimes is valuable, especially with this Mercury squaring Saturn, to stop and reevaluate, because Mercury is going to go retrograde, and we're going to be reevaluating where we are controlling too much, where we are holding on too much, where we can set new boundaries and new goals in terms of where the square is happening for you. So this is really a beautiful card for this energy. And there's so much to contemplate, because there's going to be a time with this retrograde where we suddenly realize we can now start moving again. That feeling of stopping, controlling, holding on is going to pass, and then there's going to be a time of moving forward. So this is a lovely energy to bring into this time. So everybody, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate that you show up here and watch these videos. I hope that you get some valuable insights and information into your own life from watching this. And yes, please support me, please comment, please like, please share, please subscribe. Every little bit that helps my business and my channel to grow is really amazing and supportive to me. I will see you again next time.